Okay. Yeah, so I see the new thing is to delay the chat, but I'll wait. I'll wait. In the meantime, while I'm waiting, let me say honor everyone, honor to the chat, honor to the panel when you get in here, honor to you all. Uh, I am Darkman X. I am an Ahuak American, what they call in colonial terms an Arawak American, i.e., an American Indian. With that being said, I say welcome. Welcome all. Peace, love, light to you, prosperities to you, and greetings. 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 Welcome. 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 Hope all is well with you all. Hope all is well with your loved ones. I know we got a lot of things going on in today's time, but again, never forget to take some time out for self. Never forget to take some time out to just relax, meditate. No matter what is going on, always try to find some family time. That's very important. Time for self is very important to keep the mind relaxed, right? Because we're in the times now where a lot is being thrown at you to make you mentally stressed so that you can commit also like suicide and have mental breakdowns. Okay? So, just stay vigilant, stay strong. All right. To Indigo Bro, honor to you. Con Dev, honor to you. Sister Nichelle, Death to Self, honor to you. Light Bearer, honor to you. Freeman, Huachua, Lamar, honor to you. Brother Copper Hot Step, honor, honor, honor. Honor to you and everyone that's watching, honor to you and everyone that's joining the chat. Now, today I'm just going to basically just retouch up back on something real quick, real simple. All right. And look, man, I don't want to say that I can see the future, but I told you guys. Let me also put this out there for my disclaimer. This platform is not affiliated with any Indians who are politically affiliated with the corporation. All right. This platform is and will always be for the Western Indians of this Western Hemisphere, which they call the Americas. That is South, North, Central, the islands of the Americas. This platform is affiliated with the West Indian Tribal Society. That is it. Um, we are for all Indians of the Americas, all Indians who genuinely are for this or about this. Okay, no trickster Indians. All right, none of that type of stuff. Couple years ago, I told y'all that you're going to start having your most popular platforms come out that they're off the Moorish creed, and they always will try to spin it as if this is whom we all are. No one has proven anything about over here or any parts of Florida being Morocco. Okay? When you go back through any portions of history, and look, I have no issues with any of the Moorish brothers and sisters. I just have to keep it 100 to my bloodline, to my ancestry. No, my grandmother didn't tell me that I was Aboriginal. No, my grandmother didn't tell me that I was uh, uh um what's the other word? Indigenous. My grandmother said that I am an Ahuak Indian. You know how powerful that is? That's more powerful than any of those words that I've said. because that goes back to the Maya. It goes back to the Aztecan. It goes all the way back to whom people are wrongfully calling the Olmecs. That is my lineage. That is self explanatory right there that my ancestors have always been here. Okay? So, no, we don't have to use these terms, but why do we use Aboriginal? Why do we use indigenous, indigeny, autochtons? Why do we use these terms? Because by law, okay? By law, in law, with law, when you're preparing your documentations and these things, these are the words that are recognized also on the world stage as being the original ones. Okay? Depending on how you use the word, if you use it in its right context. All right? We can't fall for the trickery of words. We see the biggest of the biggest platforms now of this community literally telling y'all to your faces that they're Moors and literally trying to paint the picture that we're all of the Moorish creed, and we are not. This is why some of them throw subliminal pot shots here at this platform, American Arawaks platform, Kapahotstep platform, Lacono platform, and Coromeo platform, right? Because the information that we push, you cannot refute it. You could come with semantics, and I'm going to show you semantics. Now, I've told y'all from day one, we're going to show. We're going to show. We're not just going to talk. I told y'all from day one that the word more can be used many different ways. Many different ways. It stands for a complexion. It stands for marshland. It stands for mooring, which means marshland when a ship is coming up on land. Okay? Many things. It stands for the Northwestern Africans. It stands for the Africans that went and resided into Morocco, who took up home into Morocco over there in the Eastern Hemisphere. More. That's what it stands for. It was also a term that was being used by the Pale Europeans to describe darker viewed people everywhere they went. But in today's context, with the creation of the Moorish Science Temple, with the creation of the Moroccan Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1786, with the creation of that document, a Moor is one whom is a citizen of Morocco, not here in the Americas, over there in the Eastern Hemisphere, what is now called the Eastern Hemisphere. That is a Moor. And their job is to turn you, the indigene or indigenous, autochthon Americans into citizens of Morocco. I watched 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I'm watching a lot of things, and I'm watching a lot of folks show their bigotry ways, and and there's some folks that came on the platform in the comment section that dropped some bigotry messages and erased it immediately, but then came back on one of the most popular platforms, right? In the community, well, let me not even say in the community, because it's obvious there are lines drawn, and I'm not with certain fractions of the community. It's just a fact from how y'all see how this platform is also being ran. We're not here to sugarcoat nothing for anybody. We just have to be honest and put it out there for what it is. I love all my subscribers. I love everyone that has taken up the information. I love everyone that is genuine and honest with the information and not playing trickster games or clickbait bullshit with the information. All right? This is just what it is. Okay? And so how I can tell you that there's a lot of bigotry things going on within the community. None of these platforms was talking anything about the islands until my platform came along. And the reason why they started talking about the islands, it wasn't to be as anything as, oh, we're friends, we're one. It was to try to find dirt to say, oh, these are some traitors. That's the only reason why they started doing it. Now, I'm talking to all you platforms out there. Every single one of y'all know who y'all are. I already put the Anytime if I make an association with a platform, you see me big up Curry Mayor, and I will never stop big up Curry Mayor's platform. It won't happen. You know why? Because he stays truthful to the information. And a person that takes pot shots at a man's children, to me, you're a scumbag. What does his babies have to do with what you have going on with the man? You have a problem with that man, you address that man. You pull his children into the whole plight of the thing. For you politically affiliated folks out there, Indians out there, is how you want to call yourselves. We are not politically affiliated out here. We're not trying to be politically affiliated because we know what that means. You're going to be contracted, or you are contracted with the corporation. Now that is out there that one of your headmasters is sitting down with the feds. That means if he sat down with the feds, you all sat down with the feds. And who knows what y'all was also talking about the other platforms that's out there to the feds that y'all don't like because we don't see it from your agenda. Okay? This is why I keep my distance and stay where I'm at. If you see me associating with any other platform, you see me with Brother Lacono, Brother Copper Hotstep, make connections with Brother Curry Mayo, because it is what it is. I have to make sure Brother American Arawaks, you see me with the Yen Kun Kun, right? I have to make sure that I associate or I collaborate with folks who are of truthful and unbiased standing. I have a lot of Moorish brothers and sisters that subscribe to the platform, and I love y'all, right? And y'all, and for the most part, y'all get where I'm coming from the legal aspect of that word, what it means, from the documents that are out there of that word, what it means. Folks could always come and say, well, we're bloodline Moors. Prove it. God damn it, prove it. Prove that you're a bloodline Moors. Because in order to be what you're calling a bloodline Moor, that means you're saying that the Moorish creed has originated in the Americas. That means if the Moorish creed originated in the Americas, you're going to have to prove how I, an Ahuak American, is a Moor, because we are one of the oldest peoples of the Americas, starting from Mama, and Mama is South America. Period. South America is the motherland. That's a fact. And we've never denounced her. Okay? And I sat here and watched a lot of y'all talk shit about South America, talk shit about the islands, segregated yourselves from all of us, and only proclaimed the North, the North, the North, the North. But then when it started coming out that a lot of the tribes also intermix within the Arawak nation, it was and brother, brother, brother. But then it's not with it's not with sincerity. You're not being genuine. It's because you're trying to look good for certain fractions of folks, because you need to pull it into your association or make it seem like you're associated with these organizations, with these people, to make it seem like we're on one accord, and we're not. That's just the facts. Okay? We're not. You have an hidden agenda, all right? If you were sitting down with the feds to try to get the mainland Indians to sign up for the census is coming up next year for the islands. I can't tell any island platform or any other platform not to associate with folks. That's not what I'm here for. Every man is their own man. But I'm just here to let the record straight when it comes to this area right here. And to what I've known, to what I've seen, and to all y'all that had dropped y'all little dirty ass comments in my comment section and then immediately erased the shit, right? Like I didn't see it. Y'all know who y'all are. That's why I don't mess with y'all. So y'all could come and push this island, this and island that. I know that it's not real, it's fake. And it's because you're feeling the pressure of what's happening from this side here. And you're making it seem like it's some kind of competition. It's not a competition. It isn't. We are not competing with you. I am not competing with you. Okay? All I'm doing is staying to my ancestry. That's it. It don't get no more than that, right? So if y'all want to be on the Kunta Kente Toe-Bey bandwagon, that's yo, do what you do, okay? You know, Bertrand said earlier, show me the Kunta Kente manifesto of the ship that he came on. Hey, y'all can't show it. You see what I'm saying? You can't show it. Show the proof that they whipped this Kunta Kinte to say that his name was Toe-Bey. 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 You can't. Just like you can't show the proof that all of the tribes here or nations here identified as Moors. You can't show it. That's a fact. And to sit here and still try to convince people to identify. First of all, I listen to, and I'm never going to call names, but you know who you are. You came into my chat one time when we was talking about the seals. First of all, y'all, these platforms was not talking about seals and talk about the in the depths of law as how this platform and American Arawaks and other platforms that I've introduced y'all to that went into the depths of these laws and these documentations. They went around all that shit because they're Moors. They took an oath. They're of the lodge. They took an oath. So they couldn't come out unless their handlers say, okay, yeah, you could go ahead and tell them that. Or they were using the information to pull you in so that you could join that society and give up your nationality to become a citizen of Morocco. Okay? Then when you join that, they also get access. Again, I'm not going to stop saying it. That's that minor account that they call that Social Security account. They get access to your shit. This is the big scam. Okay? It's nothing more powerful than when you stick to your ancestry for what it is. All right? If you are Atakapa, that's what it is. If you are Ahuak, that's what it is. You see, no one can come and play trickery now with you and say, well, did your grandma say that you were indigenous? Did your grandma say that you were Aboriginal? No, my grandmother said that I am an Ahuak Indian. The journey, the power behind that alone means more than what anyone could come with their little trickery of wordplay. Okay? Period. I open my window. I got a fly that's buzzing in here. But anyway, just so that folks have a proper understanding. Wordplay, people. Stop letting people trick you with wordplay. I told y'all. Tell me if y'all don't remember me saying this numerous times. Y'all gonna wait and see. The day's gonna come when y'all biggest platforms are gonna start coming out pushing that Moorish ideology, and it's gonna come out that they're Moors. It's a lot of undercover ones here, and it's coming out, and I still see people confused. How are you confused? It's 6 years later, and you're still confused. How? It kills me. How? What is there to be confused about? It's either you're African, what they call African, or you're American indigenous. Either or you're going to say, well, then you have Moorish blood, meaning African, what they now call today African, and American ancestry, meaning you're mixed. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when you're sitting here denouncing everybody's nationality, right, to push the whole Moorish agenda, okay? Because look, man, Yo, ship or ship, really? Okay. All right. But when you're pushing this Moorish agenda, just be real. Be real about it, to what it really is. Be real about it. Afro Samurai, subscribe to American Arawaks platform. If I was you, I'll click on his name, go to his channel, and subscribe to it. And you'll learn all you need to learn. Um, but yeah, there is an agenda. And it goes back to the very first colonizers and invaders of the Americas has always been the Moors. Okay? Now people can say, well, they call African Negroes. They called American Indians Negroes too. You got to understand these were words that was just thrown out there. Okay? When the pale man came into power and the pale man came here, the pale man was just taking all the words and just throwing it on everybody of darker view complexion. So you have to be able to disseminate if they're speaking of a dark skinned person just to be dark skinned, or if they're talking about someone of a creed that has taken an oath, that has taken a signed a contract, an agreement to serve a nation, a country, etc., etc. Because there's no Moorish nationality. Okay? But what do you mean, Dark Man? Well, we still get into that. Let's just pull up the etymology definition, right? Maybe I should go get my dictionary. No, I'll just do it on here. Okay? So we're gonna start getting into it. Give me a second here. Let me just start pulling up these things. Learn how to read, people. I'm telling y'all, man. Stop letting people learn how to read. Learn how to look up words, definitions of words on top of words on top of words for yourself, so you can have a proper understanding of what's actually happening, what's actually going on. Okay. Like I'm done just tiptoeing around certain things. That's right at Hayaharu Oman Ray El Bay. Descriptive term. That's what it is. Right? It's a descriptive term. So since we have to redo this again, how many 6 years later, and we're still doing this. Here, more verb to fasten a ship, in particular location by or as by cables, anchors, probably related to Old English, morels, mooring, rope, via, unrecorded, to moor, or possibly borrowed from Middle Low German mooren, or Middle Dutch mooren to moor, from West Germanic moored, mooring, French, amorere, is from Dutch. Let's keep going. And you have it here in the noun, right here. Tract of open, untilled, more or less elevated ground, often overrun with heath, from old moor, morass, swamp. We'll skip all of that. The basic sense in place. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I can't see the screen. Hold on, give me a second. Let me clear it up. Yeah, no. Let me clear it up. Let me clear it up. Let's come back to it. There we go. There we go. There we go. I know, I know. I didn't even need a reminder right there. It just hit me as soon as I got down on the thing. Oh man. It's not a popularity contest, man. Like people just taking this shit for like some form of popularity contest. This is not what it's about, man. Like, yo, y'all just totally missing the mark. I swear. All right, so here. Where was I? So the basic sense in place names is marsh, kind of low-lying wetland, possibly regarded as less fertile. Are you less fertile? What's going on here? Really? Really? You sure this is what you're identifying as? Uh, then Marsh, the development of the senses, dry heartland, barren upland is not fully accounted for, but may be due to the idea of infertility. Now that would have to go back into then eugenics, like when Bill Gates is giving y'all that vaccine to make y'all infertile, right? Sterile, can't produce, can't have children. Okay, so just like we call the earth mama, if parts of the land is barren, unfertile, cannot produce, and the woman is supposed to be the representation of Mama Earth, and she becomes barren, unfertile, can't produce, then she is a Moor. Now let's keep going. Let's go down to the noun of word more. Here we go. Since we're going to have to do it like this, Edward Bailey, honor to everyone that's in the chat, honor to you all. Welcome everyone. Brainstorm, Aquarian Chancellor, um, Shamia Yashuranite, Shema. Wait, no, it's not Shamia. It's Shemahai Yashuranite, Yashurunite, Berber. Okay. Peanut Nola, honor to you. Shipper Shep, honor to you. Especially Navars, Shatai Haya Bell, Brainstorm, Mr. Nino 3, Sister Death Self, Afro Samurai, honor, Brother Cop. Well, Cop, I said everybody already. So honor to everyone. Let's get back to it. All right. So now, here you have more. I'm really upset that we're doing this again, right? Because I see a lot of people that was buying into this shit, and it's something, it just don't sit well within me when I see people so confused, right? I don't care how powerful anyone want to sound and talk on a goddamn microphone. Just pay attention to the information. Learn to pay attention to what they're saying. Okay? Don't take none of our words. Just properly get educated. Learn how to define words and break them down, how to pull them apart. Learn these things. It's the more you practice, the easier it becomes. I promise you. The easier it becomes, the more you practice. Don't be a victim to people that's been hiding in the closet for years. Okay? Like I said to y'all before, everyone that was associated with Hemok Sheila, that's thousands of them out there. Hemok Sheila was a Moor. I don't know if he's still proclaiming it now, but he was a Moor. Okay? Of the Moorish creed, of the Moorish Science Temple, those lodge Moors. All right? And there's people that claim that they branched off, they broke off from him, they're no longer with him, but they're still a part of his trust. So they are part of him. That's saying, oh, we're not Moors, but if you was in his thing, you were a Moor. Especially if you was up there with him every day, doing photo ops and pictures all the time. You can spot them when they always talk about Taj Bey. They always bring up these teachers. And they get all in their feelings when you start speaking about the history of the Moors. That's how you can spot them. They will start getting into their feelings. Now here we go. Moor, North African, Berber, one of the race dwelling in Barbary, late 14th century, from Old French Moor, from medieval Latin Morus, from Latin Morus, inhabitant of Mauritania. There's no Mauritania. There's no Morocco in the Americas. It was one piece of freaking land that they named Morocco, and that's because it was occupied from folks from Mauritania. One piece of land. Small, tiny piece. Okay? And that's land that was taken from the original people that was there, from the tribes that was there. Africa, a region now corresponding with northern Algeria and Morocco. From Greek, moros, perhaps a native name, or else cognate with moros, black. So when you're saying Moor, you're saying that you're black. And we know black by law means civilis mutus. Civilis mutus means dead. We know black means one without a land, one without a nationality, one without a home. Okay? Also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain. Now pay attention because this right here is important. The Moors of Spain were the America's first invaders. Okay? They got conquered, also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain. All right? They got conquered by the Arabs. Okay? Being a dark people in relation to Europeans. Now, the very first Europeans in the history books were dark-skinned people. They weren't pale faces. Okay? Even when they used to show pictures of Caucasians in the old history books, they were Negro faces. Okay? So when we're speaking of the first invaders of the Americas, it wasn't the pale face that was the first invaders of the Americas. It was the man and woman that looked like you, the darker of you man and woman from the Eastern Hemisphere. All right? Which takes me to when I saw um the Jamaican corporation sign the deal with Ghana for visa-less travels back and forth. And I'm like, why would you do that? What resources could Ghana possibly give you? And that's because the Moors, the same Moors that tried to conquer the Americas, that was pushed down into Ghana, who you know call the Ashanti, right? Even the Nigerians who still speak the Portugal language of Portugal, right? Because they are, some of them are the original people of Spain that was pushed out when they were conquered by the Arab, then conquered again by the pale man. Okay? So these same Africans were your very same invaders. So that's why it kills me when I see folks leave from the Americas and go all the way across the waters to do trade deals with their very first invaders and folks who still today are politically trying to invade you today with the whole Pan-African bullshit, turning your nationality to being a Moor. And that's not even a nationality. Okay? Pay attention. You skip Haiti. Haiti that has mountains of iridium that goes for $45 billion a ton. Haiti that has mountains of gold. The land of gold, goddammit. Haiti that has oil, abundance of oil. You skip Cuba. Hmm? You skip Venezuela. Huh? You skip California. Huh? You skip these places that have more to offer you. Hmm? You skip Brazil. Hmm? Argentina, Colombia, Guyana, Trinidad. You skipped all these places to go all the way over to Africa. What could they offer you over there that your fellow Americans here couldn't offer you? And people aren't getting it. It's the whole divide and conquer tactic. They cannot afford for the people of the Americas to finally unite. They need y'all to stay segregated from each other. The minute you start investing in each other, that's what the Pan-African movement was created for. That's why Garvey was trying to bring y'all asses, 10 million of y'all, over to Africa to go build up what they now call Africa, their infrastructure. That's what you was really going over there to go do. When those 10 million could have stayed here, put that money that they put together to go build the Black Star Line and all these other businesses and put it into the Americas and build for the Negro of the Americas. But they didn't do that. You exported everything. And now today are feeling the effects, the negative effects of what your ancestors has done. And these Negroes is still today pushing a falsehood. Now, I'm going to show you the bigotry thing. Until this platform came out, when I had the big platform, none of these platforms was talking about Jamaica. Now, every minute it's Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica. Then, when they try to sneak in their little bigotry shit, they usually try to talk about Garvey, right? I don't know who deleted your comment, bro. Just let me know who deleted it. They used to talk about Garvey. Every minute you hear them talk about Garvey and Garvey, because that was the one bad thing they could say about the island, right? At first. Oh, and Garvey was the one that was selling it. Garvey was a sellout. But keep it real. Garvey was taught by a Moor. God damn it. A Moor taught Garvey when he was a child. A Moor. Garvey was manservant to a Moor. And you know, manservant also means homosexual tendencies. God damn it. Because when that master wants to get his rocks off, he looks at the little boy, the manservant. Okay? So let's be real. Let's be real. You have in some dictionaries, Negro means Indian. You have in some dictionaries where you're going to see it also being related to be it Moor or black or so on and so. If you don't understand the mindset of the ones who were rewriting history by now, then get to understand it. It's like when they changed the Ahuwak to Arawak with the W and the R. First you saw Ana Ahua, then you saw Arawako, then you saw Ahu, then you saw Ana Ahuakan. They kept changing the names to cause confusion. Okay? Doesn't mean that everybody is an Arawak or Ana Ahuakan. No. But when you're trying to implement that one title on everybody, Negro, that's paper genocide. Especially for something that clearly does not mean nothing with nationality here in this etymology definition here, where I'm using the same etymology online that you use. Okay? So it says, also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain, being a dark people in relation to Europeans. Why does it say being a dark people in relations to Europeans? Because the oldest Europeans were melanated people. Their name in the Middle Ages was a synonym for Negro. Now let's go look to what is a synonym. Okay? And why did they say that? God damn it. We gotta do this shit. Word having the same sense as another. Okay? I don't even need to go no further in the definition, just to show you, like I said, the colonizers was just throwing words out to identify anyone of darker view complexion. If they went to Chandala, god damn it, and they saw the Negro looking Chinese, they will call them Moors as well, or Tartarian. Okay? Which still just meant dark skin. That's it. So they'll say the Negro Indians here, meaning they came, they saw the original people of the land here, they had dark skin, so they called them Negro. Just like when they went, they saw the Moors of Spain, they called them Negro. Okay? That's all it meant. That's it. Has nothing to do with no nationality. And I watch some of these folks on the platforms. Like I said, when we started pushing the law heavy on this platform, there's other folks that came. They smooched over some constitutions, didn't delve deep into it, right? Now we dove deep into the constitutions to break them down. Even went back to the oldest constitutions, thanks to American Arawaks. What was it, American Arawak? Was it the 1681 Constitution for Examaica that they called Jamaica on corporate paper? 1681. Not the 1962 Constitution, that's not a constitution, but really a corporate trust. Okay? So let's be real here. We're going to be real here. And anybody out there could take it however the hell y'all want to take this. I don't care. But the games is over and done with. You undercover, bootlicking Toe-Bey. Stop it. It's nothing worse than a person that don't like you, but trying to kiss up to you because they know that they need peoples that's like you on to make it look like a good look for them. Just business. Nothing sincere about it. Just to say, see, look, we got some of our brothers and sisters from here. They rock with us because they don't know what's going on. Period. They don't know what's going on. If they did, they wouldn't. You attacked a man's children. A man's children. Who does that? Even if you're in a moment of passion, fine. I understand that. But all that passion shit went out the window when you turn to the man's children. Now here, let's go into this. Give me a second here. Let's go into. Wait, let me find what I'm looking for. Yeah. Give me a sec. Let me hit back the screen share for y'all. Shit is crazy. Children? Children? We going at children now? We going at the babies? What? And because he had children with a melanated sister, that's a problem? Hmm? Really? Now, folks don't know what this is. I'm going to give y'all a link to this. This is the 1786. This is on the Yale website. Okay? This is the Barbary Treaties. And this is why American Arawaks keep saying go back to the Barbary Wars. All will reveal itself. All right? Okay? The Barbary Treaties of 1786 to 1816. Treaty with Morocco, June 28th and July 15th, 1786. All right? Give me a second here, y'all. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. You know, I thought it was a fly, but it's my neighbor's annoying weed whacker. That sounds. That's I keep turning around, but I went to the window and he's out there with it. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so here we go. Let's just go to the meat and potatoes. Where is it? Where is it? It's number 6, Article 6. This is number 6. If any more shall bring citizens of the United States or their effects to His Majesty, the citizens shall immediately be set at liberty, and the effects restored. And in like manner, if any more, not a subject of these dominions, shall make prize of any of the citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of His Majesty, they shall be immediately released, as they will then be considered as under His Majesty's protection. Now, this one paragraph, this one area right here says an abundance. Okay? Now pay attention. If any more shall bring forth citizens, first of all, citizens, that's a subject. That is someone that is that is property of the corporation. That is a citizen. So they're taking property, okay? It's like a transfer of assets. All right? It's like a trade, a switch. So if any more shall bring citizens, so their job is to come to you, the citizen, to join the Moorish Science Temple, which then, when your documents are saying more all over it, it's going to put you under the control of His Majesty, which is the King of Morocco. So now you went from being the citizen of the United States Incorporated to being property of the Moroccan Empire. See how that works? So there's no freedom there. Now let's pay attention. If any more shall bring citizens of the United States. Now, to show you citizens, let's give me a second. Give me a sec. Where is it? Give me a second, y'all. I'll come back to this right here later. Let me find this word and then I'll hit the screen share for y'all. Give me a second. Where are you? Civil City. Okay. Now here we go. Now let me hit the screen share for y'all real quick, right? Because this shit has to register. Like, yo, you can't make this stuff up. Real talk. It's like this, and I'm using the same thing that they use. All right. Let me hit the screen share. Now, look, I don't know why I'm saying that I have someone in here with me. See, so when y'all sat down with y'all feds, this is what y'all was doing to our platforms, right? Because I obviously don't have no one on this panel, but I have a ghost follower. I forgot what damn it, what Nick called it. Shadowing. They're, they're shadowing my platform. Now let's hit the screen share. Here we go. So here's the word citizen. Okay? The word citizen. Persons. One who, and this is the Bouvier Law Dictionary, the 1856 Bouvier. Okay? This is it. 1856 Bouvier. Citizen. Persons. One who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States, has a right to vote for representatives in Congress and other public officers, and who is qualified to fill offices in the gift of the people. In a more extended sense, under the word citizen are included all white persons born in the United States. Now, when they're talking about the status of white persons, we know white persons, that status is something that they use to identify folks who were born in the Eastern Hemisphere and their descendants, i.e., who you call now today Spanish or Latino or Latina, i.e., today who you still call Moors, that identifies white persons. That's why they were getting you to try to fill out the SF 181 form. Okay, for those of you who like to participate in this political system. All right? Come on now. Under the word citizen, let's see where are we? Gift of the people. In a more extended sense, under the word citizen are included all white persons born in the United States. So don't think when you see white persons, and that was the thing with our people. They saw white persons and they thought it meant Caucasian. They thought that it meant pale faces. But no, it meant multiple different varieties of skin complexions. Okay? Born in the United States and naturalized persons born out of the same, who have not lost their right as such. This includes men, women, and children. Now, here, citizens are either native born or naturalized. Native citizens may fill any office. Naturalized citizens may be elected or appointed to any office under the Constitution of the United States. So, what are they saying? What is a naturalized citizen? Someone that left from a foreign country, came to the Americas, and after 10 years became a citizen. And when you have over 7 to 10 years of citizenship in this corporation that they call the United States Incorporated, then you can run for any office, president, mayor, whatever, any position. Now, when they're talking about native, they talk about native, the children of folks who are foreign, alien to this land, but came here and gave birth to children over here in the Americas or over in the United States Incorporated. Okay, that's a native citizen. All right, and that's a naturalized citizen. Okay, so it says citizens are either native born or naturalized. Native citizens may fill any office. Naturalized citizens may be elected or appointed to any office under the Constitution of the United States. Under the Constitution. So we know the Constitution is also public trust. It's a trust. Okay? We know that. All right? And it is also used to govern the corporations. All right? Under the Constitution of the United States, except the office of president and vice president. Well, that's not true because the what's his name? Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio, one of them was not born here. Okay? And they ran for president. I believe it was Ted Cruz. The Constitution provides that the citizens of each state shall be entitled to all the privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. Not rights, but privileges. Not rights, but privileges. Meaning they could come violate you anytime and take away your privilege. A privilege is something that someone gives you. A right, a natural right, is something that you were born with. All natives are not citizens of the United States. The descents of the Aborigines and those of African origin And you see how they try to associate the Aborigines and put the "and" of African origin with it, are not entitled to the rights of citizens anterior to the adoption of the Constitution of the United States. Each state had the right to make citizens of such persons as it pleased. The Constitution does not authorize any but white persons to become citizens of the United States. You get what they're saying, okay? Only the melanated people or the Caucasian person, okay, citizens. The Constitution, the United States was set up to be a colony for only their people to come and work. It wasn't set up for you. This is why they let you know, you, the Aborigine, this has nothing to do with you, right? And those of African origin. I don't look, Africans are whom they consider, this is a trick right here, because Africans go by the title of white persons. All right. So that right there is a trick. That is just to throw you off from this that they put here. The all natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of the Aborigines and those of African origin are not entitled to the rights of citizens, because a citizen is a workhorse, a citizen is a slave, a citizen is property of the corporation. All right. So we know Africans, I also have the title of white persons, free white persons. That is them. All right. The Egyptian man and woman, when they come here, the darker view ones, they have to identify as white persons. All right. See the Aborigine, which goes back to also meaning the original person of the land, the indigenous, aboriginal, autochthon of the Americas. All that, when you say in its proper context, means the first people in the Americas. This system was never for you. But when you started taking on the black identity, the Pan African, the African American identity, and these communities were created by people of Moorish creed. God damn it. Understand what's been going on all these years. Aboriginals of the Americas. We are the original people of the Americas. So they had to put you to sleep to that knowledge, to that information, and get you to participate in citizenship on your own land to become property of the Queen's crown, the corporate crown. Okay? This is not going to be long because I don't need to stay long. I don't need to pull up 10 million history books to just pull up one goddamn document that they cannot denounce. Now, a citizen of the United States residing in any state of the Union is a citizen of that state. What do they mean by that, Darkman? Darkman, what do they mean by that? All states took an oath to the federal government, which formulated a union, which created the United States Incorporated. Okay? So all states are corporate subsidiaries, branches of the United States Incorporated. So meaning when you were born in that state and you took on that birth certificate and they labeled you as a citizen of the United of that state, you then became a citizen of the United States. All the states that took that oath to the United States Incorporated, meaning that you're property of the state. So what the Moors did was took you from being property of the state and transferred you over to being property of Morocco. That's transferring assets. That's a trade deal. That's the stock market. That is business. Now we can get out of this. Close that out. Let's go back to the Avalon project. Damn, I shouldn't have closed out the other thing. Let me pull it back up. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, I got it back. I wasn't supposed to close it out. Anyway, let's go back down to the Avalon. Let's go. Let's come back all the way down here. I mean, we can go through the whole thing if y'all want, but no, let's just do this. So, what was it? 6. If any more shall bring citizens of the United States or their effects to His Majesty, what is their effects? That's the land. Remember, you are the land. The land is you. You're the heirs of this land. All right. So when you signed over to become that, when you went from a citizen, the United States citizen, to even a citizen of Morocco, all right, you done gave the land permission to the Moroccan crown. Okay, that's what that is, and you no longer have any say over it because you signed yourself up to be a citizen of the crown of Morocco. All right, so you'll have some form of freedom sometimes, but if they feel like to squash that shit, they're going to squash it. Now here. If any more shall bring citizens of the United States of their effects to His Majesty, the citizens shall immediately be set at liberty, and the effects restored. And in like manner, if any more not a subject of these dominions shall make prize of any of the citizens of America, so they shall make prize of any of the citizens of the United. What do you think that means? What do you think that means, that they shall make prize of you? What is the spoils of war? What do you get in the spoils of war, in warfare when you win the war? Or what is the spoils of war? The spoils is a prize. You become the booty. That's also your woman. Your woman becomes theirs. Your son, your daughter, your household, your land. It becomes theirs because you, the American Negro, don't understand that you're at war, not just with pale faces out there, but you're at war with darker view people that look like you. And here I'm going to say it, all skin folk ain't kin folk. So how do you fight this war? You fight this war by teaming with like-minded individuals. It doesn't even matter what the complexion of the person's skin is, as long as the person have the same understanding and ideology as you, to preserve the history of our people, to be real and truthful about the history, to pass down it in this most truthful context. Because at the end of the day, you could scream all melanated power all day. If your son decide that he's going to marry a Caucasian girl, that's what it is. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. But you can make sure that the babies grow up understanding the history of colonization and the different twists and turns and plots that has taken place, so that history of the past don't repeat itself. So here we go. So citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of His Majesty. The ports. Okay? When you're bringing a ship into bay, you're docking it into the port. Okay? When you are taking packages somewhere, and that truck pulls up on the loading dock, that's also the port. That's the loading dock. So that mail truck that loads back up at the post office on the loading dock. That's what they're doing to you. Back again, these dominions shall make prize of any of the citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of His Majesty. They shall be immediately released, as they will then be considered as under His Majesty's protection. Only reason why you would need protection is because you signed up to be a citizen. Now you put yourself on the chopping block to be traded back and forth. This is why they created the stock market, because you got caught wind that they're still doing the slave trade of physical persons and bodies. So now what did they have to do? They had to create the stock market, create what they call now the death certificate, which is also considered to be a birth certificate. And that's what they trade as you back and forth on the stock market. Okay? Let's see. There was a word in here. Okay, so it used the word liberty. Here, let's go into the Bouvier and look up liberty. Can't believe I still got to do this. And the person that was talking all this stuff was the same person that put in my comment when I was talking about the seals. And this was 2 years ago when I was talking about the seal and the seal in the documents. Oh, I knew about the seal from 2 years ago in my comment section. I was like, oh, no, he didn't just really say that shit in the comment section. So why weren't you teaching the people about that? Why weren't you teaching the people about that? Why weren't you teaching people about the laws at first to show them what's really messing them up? That means you've been had your documentations and your paperwork done. But why didn't you just come out publicly and say that you had your seal, you know how to do those things, right? Because you didn't want the more stigma on you. And you needed to have people continue to subscribe to your platform. Clickbait. That's what that was. Okay? Now let's go to liberty. Liberty. Freedom from restraint. The power of acting as one thinks fit, without any restraint or control, except from the laws of nature. Oh, that's beautiful. Except from the laws of nature. Only the laws of nature can rule over me? All right, no problem with that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But liberty is divided into civil, natural, personal, and political. So, when they're saying here in this, if any more shall bring citizens of the United States of their effects to his majesty, the citizens shall immediately be set at liberty and the effects restored. What liberty are they talking about? They didn't say natural liberty. They didn't say political liberty. They didn't say nothing. They didn't say what liberty in this passage here that they're talking about. What liberty are they talking about, God damn it? What liberty? Hmm? That matters. That means a lot. Okay? It's like when they sit here and they call you persons. Free persons, persons. But what are they talking about? Are they talking about natural persons? Artificial persons? What persons are they speaking of? In what term? In what context are they speaking of? Hmm? Pay attention. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. You can't make this stuff up, people. Now, I'm going to put the link to this in the chat. Give me a second here. Yes, and who are the descendants of the slaves in the Americas when it comes to the Aboriginal, the American Aborigine? Hmm? The same tribes that they took as slaves during the King Philip's War, the same tribes that they were selling or transporting to the Caribbean islands to try to sell as slaves, and the Ahuwak, or Anahuwak, or Arawako, or Arawaks were the ones coming down from the mountains that they wrongfully now call Maroons, and was freeing those same tribesmen and women that came from the mainland. That's why they had to stop selling slaves on the island, because they kept getting freed by my ancestors. And some of y'all have the nerve to open up in y'all mouth. They talk about put some respect in our name. American Arawak said that. He had all right to say that. We went through listening to y'all for over 2 years trying to shit on us, dropping subliminal this and that. And because the people out there did not get what was going on because we wouldn't say anything. So we was like, just leave y'all alone. Let's just drop the information. But it's still going on today. It's ridiculous. The hypocrisy. You can't come today like you got Crumb TV, drop a whole bunch of wrong information about the island. Don't know what the hell he's talking about, but I guarantee you he's one of them that drinks sea moss and use the sea moss. Where do you think that came from? It didn't come from no Africa, huh? That dude who openly admit that he's a Moor. Wearing locks. Where do you think locks came from? Locks didn't come from Africans. So when y'all being bigoted towards certain demographic of people, don't take on their culture. Don't drink their food. Don't use their herbal remedies. More than half the shit that they tell you are herbal remedies from Africa, when you look into the origins of them, they came from the Americas. Period. Majority of them from the tropical climates, South America and the islands. All people do is just go and use these products and slap an African label on the shit, and people think automatically it's from Africa. I have nothing against our African brothers and sisters, but we have to stick to the truth. The hypocrisy of you people. How dare you? How dare you get upset because the man said to put some respect on the name? Put some respect on it. We've been putting respect on all history from this platform started. But we sat back and watched y'all shit on us over and over and over again. Drop subliminals. A lot of y'all try to set me up behind the scenes many times. And then come in front of the cameras, talk about shout out to Darkman X, yo. Negro, please. Cut it out. So it's like, yo, just be real, man. Look, if you're a Moor, you're a Moor. But you try to hide it for years. Hmm? Even the platform that got caught selling links to NWIPI and Moorish documentation. Hemok Shelock was the creator of that platform representation when he was going to court. He told me this out of his own mouth. He said he was Hemok's #1 researcher. Now he's making videos insinuating, and then I'm just here to make you think that we're Moors because he's a Moor. God damn it. Like, pay attention, people. I told y'all, they're going to start putting themselves out there. The handlers are getting at them now. Crunch time coming up. You know, the census coming up. We got to start making them think like, this is what it is. Can't get them to turn against us. Any way, anything they could do to keep you locked into the citizen category or to be subject of somebody else instead of standing on your own two goddamn feet and becoming really and truly free. Because once you wake up to whom you are, all this bullshit that's going on these lands has got to stop because you're going to unite and come together on a totally different level. So these organizations are there to divert that energy because this is what's happening is energy harvesting. They're here to divert that energy away from that, like what they did with the protesting and stuff. They use the protesting to get y'all to burn out yourselves on a frivolous protest when you could have done put that energy into something else and receive great results from it. They know how to tap into the minor account. That's what they're getting from it. And that minor account is going towards the science temple. They know how to get into that. Some of them actually have their black card. You understand? So they know these things. They know how to get into these things. So they're getting that fiat dollar from it. They're getting to still be able to go into their vehicles and travel a lot of places without showing the corporate license and this and that. The kicks, the kickbacks. That's what they're getting. The bragging rights. Oh, hey, oh, really? You did that? Oh, you paying taxes on that? I ain't paying no taxes on that, bro. What you talking about? Oh, really? Oh, you're paying that mortgage? I ain't paying no mortgage. More. More. I ain't paying no mortgage. My job is to make sure that I sign your ass up to be subject to Morocco, and I get all these perks. Yeah, yeah. That's what's up. That's what it is. Come on, man. That's all it is. That's what it is. I was very disgusted when I saw the attack on the man's children, yo. And you know, what's so crazy. Curry Mayo put a lot of y'all used to be on his nuts 2 years ago. Anything y'all could have done to get him on your platform, y'all was doing it because y'all know that it boosted y'all platform to another level. When y'all was running dry, had no content, that's who y'all was going to for content. And you have the nerve to come out your mouth and say some shit. You know how many times the brother came on your platform? You're dirty. You foul. You're dirty and you're foul. And the thing with fouls is they shit a lot, all over the place. So the farmer comes out and throws the feed out there on the ground, it's still going into the foul shit. So you're eating your own shit. Nasty. Come on. Don't take a not because someone don't agree with certain things that you say, you decide, well, F him, and because he got children with a melanated person, and he's not even one of us. He don't look like us. But you wasn't saying that when you was riding his dick when he was on your platform. You weren't saying that. It was, oh, my brother, oh. Hmm? So like, oh man, my thing is always give respect. Even if me and a brother don't get along, I I would just either just not say the brother's name. Even if the brother say, yo, you know what, disassociate from me. Fine. No problem. I won't say your name, won't shout you out, no nothing. I don't know you. Won't no contacts with you, no nothing. I'll leave you alone. Why? Because it's nothing to do that. What you eat don't make me shit, right? So if you have differences with a brother, just take yourself away. Just take yourself away. You know what I mean? There's no need to be out there. He's going to push the information that he's pushing, especially if the books are showing and proving what he's talking about to be accurate. Don't attack the man's family. Come out with your information to challenge his information. That's it. Like how I'm challenging yours. And I'm keeping it very basic. I'm not going nowhere past this treaty of 1786 right here. Because you can't get past that. There's no way you could get past that. They will come, oh, I'm not a lodge more. I'm not a lodge more. But then they get all irate when you speak on lodge moors. Seriously. How many times I heard them say that? Oh, I'm not a lodge more, but when you speak on lodge moors, they get very upset. Oh, you're gonna give credit. You got your information from the Moors. And look, now we're coming out and we're showing our books where we're getting the information from. It's from none of your people. We're showing where you got your information from and claiming that it's from the Moors. Period. Oh, that's dead cold fight. That's a y'all thing. Honor. Thank you. But yeah, come on, man. Like you don't involve a man's family, bro. That's that. I don't see anyone else out there involving your family, your children. Period. That's just a whole different level type of thing. It's easy to talk something when the person is all the way in Costa Rica, though, right? That was just dirty and low, you know. And to the other ones out there who think that you're slick, like you're trying to pull in island people to be cool with you. I know that it was you that left that message in my comment section the time when I thought it was Chief Holiday, and then you came on the Township One platform confessing that it was you that left that bigot message in my comment section. Like they're so stupid. They're so stupid. Old boys club. That's definitely what it's called, especially in Navarre's. When they be like, "We're gonna give it that old college try." Welcome to being a part of the old boys club. All that code talk shit. That's what all that means. The information is here. Look, let me put y'all on game with something else. Hold on. Let me hit the screen share. Let me see if I could get this. Okay, give me a second. Let's hit the screen share. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see this yet. It will pop up soon. It's like delayed on my end. All right, so here we go. This is history.state.gov countries / Morocco. All right. So this is on the government website. A guide to the United States history of recognition, diplomatic, and consular relations by country since 1776 Morocco. Pay attention. Close this out. Morocco formally recognized the United States by signing a treaty of peace and friendship in 1786. Don't ever let them get past that treaty. Don't ever hold them to it. Despite a long standing consular presence, permanent diplomatic relations did not begin until 1905. Morocco entered into the status of a French protectorate from 1912 to 1956, and normal diplomatic relations were resumed after U.S. recognition of Moroccan independence in 1956. But why did they need to be independent? Independence of what? If Morocco was the place that first recognized the United States incorporation, because in order to be recognized on the floor of the UN, you need a nation or a nation to recognize you, okay? Or another mega corporation to recognize you, which Morocco recognized the United States. Thus, the United States now owe an allegiance to Morocco. Because if it wasn't for their recognition, what was going to happen was the countries of the world was going to come together and wipe out the United States corporation. Until Morocco stepped up and said, "Hey, we recognize you." To the United States Incorporated, because they made and worked out a deal about these lands over here. Recognition. Moroccan recognition of the United States 1786. Morocco recognized the United States on June 23rd, 1786, when a treaty of peace and friendship was signed by U.S. Minister Thomas Barclay. That's why they named the Barclay Center in Brooklyn, the New Jersey, formerly the New Jersey Nets, now the Brooklyn Nets, arena, the Barclay Center. All right, Thomas Barclay and Sidi Muhammad, Sultan of Morocco, at Marrakech, Morocco, under French and Spanish control, 1912 to 1956. So this is why Morocco re-needed back the United States to re-recognize them so that they can have independence because they were captured by the French and the Spanish. 1912, 1956. This is also linked to the Canadian crown. This is why now, when you look in the more science temples, especially even within the Nation of Islam, you see them now with all sorts of pale faced people and all these things because of this right here. Right here. They were conquered by the Spanish and the French. Right there. So because they are treated with that peace and friendship treaty, and because the United States came back around and recognized them, they're bound to it. This is why when shootings of what they call young black boys and girls happen out there, for the majority of it, the most part, you don't see them. Nor do you even see the Nation of Islam, them out there like that. You don't see them. They're incognito for the most part. Okay? Because they took an oath. That's what that is. So, in 1912, Morocco became a French protectorate. Certain portions of Morocco also came under Spanish control, including the province of Tangier. However, the United States did not recognize the French and Spanish protectorates until October 20, 1917. Doesn't matter, they still recognized them. When Secretary of State Robert Langston sent a letter formally acknowledging the protectorate to Jean-Jules Jusserand, French ambassador to the United States. Not America, the United States, the corporation. U.S. recognition of Moroccan independence in 1956. The United States recognized Moroccan independence from the French sovereignty on March 7, 1956, in a statement of congratulations regarding the Franco-Moroccan Declaration of March 2nd, wherein France had recognized Moroccan independence. Okay, and this is why you see the pale face along with the darker view, with the Moroccan Negro. Now today, working side by side because they're contracted with each other. All right, wake up, pay attention. Aborigine gem finder, honor. Miss Nia, honor. And they also repealed all Moroccan courts as well. There you go. American Arawak is dropping some stuff also in the chat for y'all. George Washington chopped down the cherry tree, and the cherry tree was a symbol of freedom, right? That was the cherry tree was a symbol of freedom, and I believe Washington was what, a Democrat. Washington was a Democrat. I'll give y'all the link to this. Where are we? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. There's the link. Can't make this stuff up. There's no making this stuff up. Now, even with that, Washington was a Democrat. When you look up the definition of Democrat, for some of you folks out there, let's see. Give me a sec. I'm about to hit back the screen share. All right. Let me hit the screen share. Let's go. Screen share. Let's take off the imagery that's blocking the screen. Whoa. Okay. I think it's democracy. Democra. Let me see if I find it. Hold on. Let me see if it's here. Democracy, or is it democratic? Democracy, government by the people, system of government in which the sovereign power is vested in the people as a whole, exercising power directly or by elected, elected officials. A state so governed. From medieval Latin, democratia, from Greek, people originally district, Kraktos, rule, strength, acracy. As England ruled to the class of the people which has no hereditary or other rank, the common people. Sometimes 16th century, 17th century, in Latinized form, democrate. In 19th century England, it could refer to the class of people which has no hereditary or other rank, the common people. In 19th century US politics, it could mean principals or member of the Democratic Party. Now, this is very interesting right here, okay? Because when it's saying people which has no hereditary, you, whom are the original people of this land, the minute you went to go play politics, the inheritance that you are the heirs of the land, this hemisphere, you gave it up when you went to go pull on and take on a Democratic Party. When you went and pull on and take on the whole political party in general. But when you became a part of the democracy, here it says, sometimes 16th, 17th century in Latinized form, democratie. In 19th century England, it could refer to the class of people which has no hereditary or other ranks. You have no ranking, no hereditament. You're not the heirs of anything when you proclaim to be a Democrat, okay? Of the democracy. Now, let's see. Let's see, Democratic. Let's see if it's there. A political fiction name. 1790 referred to French U.S. political usage. Attested from the party originally was the. Okay, here we go. Right here. Now, this is key. Remember, I told y'all that each state is trying to take down the federal government to kill the Constitution and the Articles of Confederacy. This is what each governor of each state is trying to do. Now, as a political faction, named from 1790 in reference to France, U.S. political usage, attested from 1800s. The party originally was the Anti-Federal Party, then the Democratic Republican, Democratic for short. It formed among those opposed to extensive powers for the use federal government. The name of the party was not officially shortened to Democratic until 1829. Democratic Socialism is attested from 1849. So they're socialists. A socialist is like a fascist, a Marxist, okay? Which is communism. Wake up, people. Democratic Party is not for the federal government at all. And it is the federal government's job to keep the states in check when they start getting too out of hand and corrupt. And you are the one that is supposed to guide and tell the state what to do. So you have the states trying to get rid of the federal government. That's the fight between Trump and these governors. That's what's really going on. Okay? Close that out. You just got to wake up, family. You got to wake up. United States and Morocco was relinquished by memorandum of President Eisenhower, dated September 15, 1956, the State Department, volume 35905, page 844. Uh, I would ask, I don't know if you're busy. Do you want to come on the panel and drop the information, or you just want to do it in the chat, bro? Brother Lacey Road, honor, brother, honor. At American Arawak, just let me know. If you do, I'll just send you the invite to come on the panel. You can bust it down for like 15 minutes, and then, we'll just wrap it up. Because I was about to wrap it up, but if you want to drop something for the next 15 minutes or drop some info, you're welcome to do so. Or you could just put the link to your channel in the chat, bro, and just send them over to where they could get the link from, to your chat, the panel, right? Like I said, man, we're not here for no biasness. We're not here for any of that stuff. All right, I'll send you the link. Give me a second. We're not here for none of that stuff. We're not here for none of that, for no bigotry stuff, man. We're just trying to stick to the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We're not trying to fight against anybody, none of that stuff. We're not in no competition with anyone. We're just here to preserve and be the gatekeepers, the guardians of the record of our ancestors. All right? To protect it from being damaged further. That's what we're here for. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Let me send you the copy now, bro. Nothing more, nothing less. We're not looking to come and say, yo, we got this beef with mainland Indians of the North. Y'all made that shit up, and y'all still making it up. Y'all took it to a certain level that we not even paying attention to y'all with, and y'all still trying to take it even to a further level. For what? What is the point? All right, check your email now, bro. Like, I don't get it. I don't get what the whole point is. I really don't. Like, when we're saying that the islands are also a part of the Americas, y'all start coming out. No, it's not. No, it's not. And them island people and those island people and this island that, and no, it's not. And they ain't us. They ain't us. And y'all had Fed root, the federale root. So about, oh no, you're Britons. You're Africans. You ain't no more. You ain't no Aborigine. Saying all this bigotry stuff. And I still sit here and watch y'all put him on your platform. That's crazy.
Oh, what's good? What's good, people? Big up yourself, Dominix.
Honor, brother. Honor.
Yeah. Yeah. So that link, what I show you just now, they're saying the 1956 United States relinquish their jurisdiction in Morocco.
Okay.
So the thing is, that's why I was asking it. Is the United States corporation still paying what you call it now, homage to Morocco? Meaning, are they paying Morocco what you would say now, like dues?
Dudes.
Because remember, from the Barbary Wars, they were fighting with the Berbers. So the whole Berber coast from, say, Morocco, come all the way down to Tripoli, all of that, they could not pass that area unmolested.
Yeah.
So this is why they signed the treaty, peace and friendship, to end that, you know, them to end them from hijacking. You know, they had pirates that took
Yeah.
away the
The Africans them kept ambushing them and taking away their cargo. So
right,
they
and those
needed
were
Morocco to put their military force out in those waters to give them safe passage with their cargo.
right.
Yeah.
So the Muslims who you call who were the Berbers at that time, it was always the Muslims versus the Christians.
Yes.
Okay, so the Christian vessels could get safe passage through signing that treaty. Okay, and that treaty still stands today. No, what I'm realizing is that what I'm now realizing is that when they relinquished that in 1956, you just pulled up something about 1956, didn't you, Darman?
Yeah. Now let me tell you that it looked like it's been that they no longer do it because the reason being in Morocco today, um the French has a great hold on it right now still to this very day. And remember,
Right,
the French and the United States Incorporated are still contracted. All right?
right,
And the
right.
United States Incorporated and Spain is still on the contract to this very day. So they don't
Right.
need to pay no any ties to the Moroccan crown because the
Okay, yes.
Moroccan crown answers to the Canadian crown and to the French and the
Right.
Spaniards. Yeah.
So my thing is before 1956, that means that United States was under the jurisdiction of Morocco then.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds to me. Because if they're relinquishing their jurisdiction in Morocco, because remember, when you're talking like in these terms, it's not so much the land, it's so much like incorporation.
Yeah, because you got to remember, back then Morocco had the number one military. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So everybody was literally bowing down to them, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it makes me wonder what World War was really about. You know what I'm
Ah.
saying?
Yeah.
So if the United States relinquished their jurisdiction in Morocco, that means they were under Morocco's protection.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That means they were subjected to Morocco.
Yeah.
And that means any Indian tribe that signs a treaty with the United States, U.S, was subjected to Morocco.
Yes. And their
So
territories.
yes. So the thing is, man, this shit is crazy, bro. So these Indians are like to push census, 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 census.
That's why you will always see when you're looking into the occult world, into the lodge world, they'll
Mm-hmm.
always have like the Indian featherhead along with the KKK Klansman hoodie because that's what it's representing, really and truly, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I just pull it up for you right there. You could look it up. You could see it for yourself. Look up United States relinquishing jurisdiction in Morocco. And this is what the Moors always use to say they are sovereign to United States.
Pull it up if you want. You can pull it up on your screen. I can screen share it.
Yeah, but I'm on my phone. You know, the
Oh, you're
phone
on your phone.
sucks.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
but I pull it up so I could look at the desktop and tell you the code. It's actually in the U.S. code. It's tit- title. Hold on, let me see. Sorry about the delay.
Yeah, no, it's
That.
all right. That's when you give me the thing, I'll just type it into the Google and
So
pull it up.
it's Title 22, right?
Hmm.
Section 141 to 143.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, so it's a Title 22 code.
Section 141.
144. Yeah, 141 to 143. Yeah, that should come up.
140.
you know.
Uh,
And I realized even earlier he was talking about this brother that they call him. Well, I don't know if he's a brother. He looks kind of like a mestizo or a mestizo. Um, something snatcher, doodle snatcher. I don't know. Uh,
Crumb Bum Snatcher.
bum snatcher or doodle snatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude is slandering the island on his Facebook page, and he has no knowledge of what he is saying. Yes, Jamaica is the corporation. Yes, Jamaica the entity, but don't come and say, oh, it was um, Ghanaians who come there. No, you're misleading. What are you doing, man?
Hold on, bro. The public law. It came up as Public Law 857, August 1st, 1956.
Yeah,
Treaty.
yep.
Yeah. But this is the section that I have. It says treaty. It says treaty with such countries and in accordance with usage in such countries. It has whereas the councils of the United States in Morocco are permitted to exercise jurisdiction over American nationals under the treaty between the United States and Morocco, signed September 16th, 1836, and the Act of the Algerias of the Algeciras, signed April 7th, 1906, and the exercise by customs and usage the same jurisdiction over subject of Morocco or others who may be designated as prestige under the Convention of Madrid, signed July 3rd, 1880, and whereas Morocco is now the only foreign country where the councils of the United States exercise such jurisdiction, and whereas it is the policy of the United States to discontinue the exercise of extraterritorial jurisdiction in Morocco at such time as it becomes appropriate, therefore be it. Right? So this is the amended. I think this is the amended one, but it says a lot of interesting things in the beginning.
You said something of jurisdiction over American nationals.
Yes, yeah,
Did I hear that right?
yes, you did.
Oh my God, that's chaos. That's chaos, man. That's chaos.
Oh man.
So the thing is, what is really going on? Were they paying tribute to Morocco, or what was going on? Because now you gotta ask yourself. No, I'm thinking like, if getting an American national passport even makes sense, you gotta think. It's like a new can of worms open up.
You just go back and stick with your ancestry, y'all. That's it.
Yeah,
Stick with your ancestry.
because
Right.
now it's crazy because that's a whole new worm. That's a whole new like can of worms right there.
Right. But you got to remember too, like the people that struck these deals, they didn't struck these deals on behalf of the original people of the Americas, the Amaru Khan, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
wordplay. So when they changed the Amaru Khan to America, that's the corporate term. America is still also the corporate term. So you just go back to the Khan, the Amaru,
Mm-hmm.
the Ahu, right? You just take it
Yeah,
back to the roots, the origin. It takes you outside of all of that corporate construct,
yeah. The
right?
ruach,
Yeah.
the ruach. Ruach means a Hawa. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
The
it's
Hawa, the
like,
creator.
yeah, the creator.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
you put nobody before your creator. You know what I'm saying? You and your creator is one.
That's
So
it.
I mean that opens a whole can of worms, man. But anyway, you guys need to look into that because that means that any tribe that signed treaties with the U.S was under Morocco then. So
Oh,
it doesn't make them different from the Moors, really, if you think about it.
because remember, you got to go back to even when you go back to the King Philip's War in these tribes, right? Who was King
Mm-hmm.
Philip? Who was he associated with? A lot of these people that came over here was still in association with the Ottoman Empire. All right,
Yeah,
which is also going back into with Morocco, right?
all of that.
So
Ottoman Empire, Algiers, all that was one empire, Ottoman Empire.
yes,
Yes. So
definitely.
I think what World War was about was to destroy Ottoman Empire.
Yes,
So
which they did. They weakened it.
yeah, so they could get from under the from under the yoke of
Yes,
the Ottoman Empire because they were bound by the treaty. So by destroying the Ottoman Empire, you kind of like get things unsettled. You destroy the army. You destroyed. That's why they were up. They was killing so many. Like the original Germans were dark skinned, so
yes,
they were slaying them like crazy and pushing back a lot of them from where you call Spain back out to, like they pushed them from Spain like back into Turkey.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what happened. And then the ones who got left back in Turkey, they are getting discriminated against right now.
So this is when the pale faces rose up and was rising up in power, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I get it now. I get what happened. I get it now.
yeah,
I get it. I get it. And then World War II was just to finish off the job. And then
yeah.
here comes 1956. They signed this deal to repeal their jurisdiction because that was to get from under their yoke.
Yes, because they were bitches of the Moroccan Empire.
So if they were subject to Morocco, they must have been paying tribute then.
Yep.
So
Which
who
is
knows?
which is why they had to take this. This is why they started using the corporate military to steal the lands more and
Right.
more from the original ones here of the Americas. Now, this is also why they created that whole Native American tribal identity stuff. The bureau of
Of
what they
Indian
call
affairs.
of Indian Affairs,
Yeah.
because they also tie into that also with these now Taino peoples that's going on throughout the islands. This shit is so big. It all connects back to each other. It all connects in one.
So no, remember, 1933, right? This was during World War One and stuff, right around there. And then they did the New Deal, and then they confiscated the gold. So this only leads me to think, why would they confiscate the gold? That wouldn't make sense for them to pay tribute to Morocco. They take your gold to pay Morocco or the Ottoman Empire because they were bound, they were under the yoke.
Yeah, because
I didn't say it.
yeah,
It's right there. You could read. That's not my words. That's not what
and
I'm
they're still
making up.
doing it to this very day though. Because look, this is why they treat. They every 40 to 50 years, or even sometimes every year, they redo treaties with
Yeah, it's every 50
Spain.
years. Every 50 years. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they still redo these treaties with no. You talk about the peace and friendship.
Yeah.
I'm talking about now treaties that they still redo back with Spain and all these other countries. Almost every year they amend these treaties or redo them back over and re-sign them back up, right? So that they can stay to be branches of the corporation and stay here because they're still paying tribute to Spain and these other places. They're still paying tribute to the crowns, to the Vatican, to these other places. Hence, this is why they created the stock market. All
Yeah.
right, and
And
it's
check this out.
yeah. Go ahead.
Morocco, right? The free white persons, right? In the Black's Law Dictionary, it says including Moors, Scandinavian, all the good stuff. Um, Europeans of North Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then in the Dred Scott case, it says nobody of African descent cannot be citizens of the United States. But then over into the free white person is going to say that's for naturalization to become a citizen. It's going to say North Africa. So that's contradicting because if you're going to say people of African descent cannot be citizens, but then you're going to say North Africa is free white person, then obviously in the Dred Scott case they weren't talking about Africans then.
Mm-hmm.
They just use the term Africans as a blanket term to hide your identity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about these things. Why they word certain things a certain way? Because the original 13, there was an original 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment you see now, that's not the original one. The original
No, it's
13th
not.
Amendment, the original 13th Amendment has 20 sections. And I think Section 12 says the same thing. Nobody of African descent cannot be citizens of the United States. But then in the free white person, it said North African. So what is
Mm-hmm.
going on? So
Trickery.
you got to think the pensive skills of these people. Like they got pensive skills. They're so skilled with the pen. So and then they reprogram your mind to thinking North Africa is separate from Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a psychological type of this shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
The things they do, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
are you federally recognized tribe? I'm sad to say, man, you're on the Morocco, man. Boom bam bang. How about that?
So, and I think a lot of them even know it because that's why I said, like, when you pay attention to even the occult world, to the Masonic world, you'll see pictures of these federal tribes still with the in front of the Masonic buildings, Masonic emblems above their heads. It's just everywhere.
Yeah,
And you,
Shriners.
yes,
Yeah,
and
they
you'll
got the
see who they
sword.
are.
They got the sword over the female head.
Yes,
They have the sword over the. I mean, they beheaded the female, right?
yes, the
And
original female of the Americas.
right, and took
Yes.
the land, and then they have people like the COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like what the dude named the J Hoover, J
J.
Edgar
Edgar
Hoover.
Hoover.
You
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
he says gonna kill all these he said something like he's gonna kill all these black extremists or something like that. His
Well,
job
this
is
is what
to,
they're still doing today. This is
you know
why
what I'm
they
saying?
created the BIE list.
You
That's
know what
why
I'm
they
saying?
created. Yeah, this is why they created the BIE list because they thought all of us were going to identify as such, so that they could use it to declare all American Negroes as terrorists or extremists. Right. So that was
Yep.
that was the Hoover plan coming to effect today. Right, and then you see the agents of in the Negro community coming out there with talking about human rights and the undrip and still trying to trick you into being a part of their organization. Because see, we're talking about the drip now. Well, the drip been out for years. What about the 1779 Human Rights Declaration or the 1773 that the French created? What about that? These things been out for years, for over 200-300 years. It's nothing new. So all these years you was pushing Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. You didn't know about this stuff? Then where did you learn about this stuff from? It had to have been from here.
Yep.
And they're still pushing the whole black identity, but trying to take some bits and pieces of the information to build a black nation. The day you do that, they're waiting for y'all to do that. They're gonna bomb the shit out of y'all because you're gonna be looked up as extremists. That's not a
Yep.
nationality.
That's what
It
they
has
did to
nothing to do with tribal ancestry.
and that's how they set up Tulsa, Oklahoma, and bombed it.
Exactly.
That's how they set them up. They got them to react by using a female, one of their females, to say, well, one of the Negroes harassed her, and then they came back with their guns, right? And then the Negroes take them out, right? Shoot them because they came back to kill the Negroes, but the Negroes killed them, and this is what started. That's why they bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma.
At Arawak Blackfoot Cherokee Chief, I can't pronounce that, bro. But I totally get what you're saying, and that's not it's not incorrect neither, right? That exactly what's going on. But the bigger thing behind it is they contracted to also do so, right? Because the deals that they worked out was to create a blood pact. The blood pact had to have been that they needed the blood of either the original man or woman of hair to bring forth a seed, a child. That would be the bridge in the gap of the two sides, which would give the colonizing
Okay.
side a reason to stay on this land because they could say, well, that's their child. Their child is of here. You see what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
why they were doing it. This is why the interracial relationships was taking place for the most part. I'm not going to say that there weren't some folks out there getting into relationships based off out of love. That was happening, but for the most part, this was it right here.
Yeah. And you guys ever heard about Shirley Chisholm?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
you know what? You know, so crazy. When I was a child,
yeah.
like 7 years old, I did a book report on her.
Shirley Chisholm, right? This is why I said put some respect on the West Indian name. Put some respect. If you all didn't know who Shirley Chisholm is, go do your research. She's from the West Indies, and guess what? She was the one who was attempting to be the first so-called black president for the United U.S.
Yes, yes, yes.
Put some respect on our names, and I'm gonna keep saying it. If you have a problem with that, come see me. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Like that gambler say, fuck you and fuck your life. Just like that. Straight like that. But anyway, that's not why we're not here to rant. But I'm just saying, y'all gotta do your research, you know? Or else you're gonna get caught up in this, you know?
So yeah, man. Just my whole thing to everyone is just do your due diligence and do your research. Don't stop going for the semantics of words, man. Like when I started the platform 6 years ago, y'all was going for the semantics of words. Some of y'all came up out of it and started doing your own research. Some of y'all I still see swimming around in these platforms talk about, yep. No, no, no. What are you? And I'm just like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like you're falling for the same trick. You see what I'm saying? And these are the same ones that still keep coming and asking the same questions over here 6 years later. Why?
Yep.
Because you can't get past a certain level of thinking.
Yep. So as I said before, we're not politically affiliated. Okay? We are culturally affiliated. So when you say a society, West Indian tribal society, it's a society with different tribal families who know who they are and who have attachment, um, cultural attachment to the original people of this hemisphere, of the islands, of the mainland, because we are strongly rooted in the mainland as well, both North and South America, especially South America.
Yeah, I gotta understand, especially even during the King Philip's War when they were sending a lot of mainland Indians to the islands. A lot of they weren't taking y'all back. When we were freeing y'all, they refused to bring y'all back to the mainland. Okay? So you guys lived your ancestors lived on the islands and married island men and women on the islands and brought forth children. When some were able to go back, they went back with a belly, pregnant.
Yep.
Okay? And even before colonization, we were always dibbing and dabbing back and forth amongst each other.
Yeah, we had canoes. Okay. And that same cotton tree that they say we were picking on the cotton field, that cotton tree, that trunk was the canoes. That's what we used to make our canoes. So why do you think they always associate us with cotton? Think
That's where the
about it.
wood for the canoe comes from.
Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah,
You think it was just all about picking cottons? No, man. How do they know that you were the cotton expert? How?
exactly.
How they knew that? You gotta think. You gotta think, man. So I think we just blew a lid off. We just blew the lid off a lot of bullshit. So you people got to do some research on what the Barber Wars were, and that when they repealed the United States jurisdiction. Because why would they repeal it if they wasn't subjected to it?
Exactly.
That means they want their freedom. This is why
Yep.
they push world. I can guarantee World
That's
War
how
One.
they. That's how. Because look, they were still being attacked also by the British and the English crown were still
Yep.
attacking them every time they went over. They were being attacked by the Chinese. They were being attacked by the British and English. Everybody was attacking them until, and to show you how powerful Morocco was at that time. When Morocco came and said, no more. That was it. It was no more.
Yep.
Not even the pirates was attacking them. It was no more.
Yep. And
No
Britain have
more.
a treaty. Britain have a treaty with Morocco as well. Britain.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Queen has a treaty. There's a picture with the Queen. I don't know if you could screen share that, man. Just pull up the Queen and the Moors, and you're gonna see that picture just pop up. But she's
Uh,
like marching in the middle, like she's like on a. They're standing at attention to her.
okay, let me see if I.
I think that was
Oh,
the
yeah. I know. They know what picture that is. They know what that picture.
yeah.
They know it.
So you gotta put everything in perspective, man. This thing is bigger than just what you think it is, man. It's not this that man. Look, obviously then that only proves that the Moors were the one who were going around conquering.
Yep.
That only, cause if they were the most powerful force to reckon with, how was that? How was a transatlantic slave trade even possible? Like the way they explained it. If they're saying that the like Britain ship was going back and forth taking millions of so-called slaves, how was it possible if Morocco wasn't allowing you to go past on the waters? You have to have a treaty with them to even go past the waters. So what are you talking about?
Mm, that is
But
true.
body bag for the Pan Africans, man. Body bag. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about this. It wasn't that kind of that party. And I'm saying if they're
That's
gonna take
true.
Africans, it would be most likely because remember Muslim was enslaving a lot of Caucasians. So it
Yep.
would be most likely those same Caucasians that the Muslim was doing through the what you call that area? Fuck, I forget what they call it. Yeah, the name is on my tongue. It's a part of it's like a peninsula,
Peninsula.
The Iberian Peninsula.
Iberian Peninsula. Yeah.
Yeah, they was transferring a lot of so-called white slaves through that peninsula. So it would make more sense that on the way coming over here, they would pick up those same Caucasian slaves, right, and bring them
Hmm.
over here with the authority of the Muslims. Because remember, it wasn't that type of party. They couldn't just sail freely. So
That's
they
true.
have to have
That's
some
true.
kind of ship pass to pass that along the coast of Africa. Because remember, they keep saying west coast of Africa. So if the Moroccan so-called empire was all the way from the coast of Africa, the west coast, from northwest coast of Africa, all the way to Montezuma, Gulf of Mexico, as how they put it. Because they have a thing called from the walls of Tripoli to the something of Montezuma. I don't know if you know that
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
block. They're blocking the picture from Pinterest. It's not.
Uh,
It was. I don't know. They
well,
talk about this video. It wasn't even a video. It was a picture. All right.
yeah.
Let me close it out and try one more time. Hold on.
So this is the body bag all together. I'm putting it to rest. Do your research on the Barbary Wars because these wars started since the 1600s. It wasn't just in the 1800s. No, no,
That's a
no, no,
fact.
no, 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 no. It was way before that. So ask yourself, how were they getting passed to come here? They have to have passed to come here. They couldn't just sail here freely. Or it's bombs dropping on them motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you, they'll be bombing them ships. They'll be hijacking them ships. They'll be taking everything on them ships. They'll be taking everything for booty, everything. Price catch. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Read the treaty. Read the treaty of peace and friendship, man. You're gonna see all the jewels in there.
Let me show them something.
Yeah.
This is a vintage African. They said this is a vintage East African. Yeah, they're slowing up my feed. When you mentioned the picture, my stuff, my Pinterest never moved this slow. They're slowing it up. Look at that.
They
Yeah, they
see,
did. My internet bar is damn near down to the very end.
bro. We just hit the nail on the head. What do you think they're gonna do? That's the blow, the final blow for the Moors, for these so-called census Indians, for all these fucking
They won't
doodoo
even.
doodoo snatchers, all these crumb butt snatchers, all type of shit, man. Body bag for them, for all of them.
They're not even like the pictures that I'm clicking on. They won't show them, and they just show me something totally different. I wanted to show folks if it's still going to be there. Nope, it's not even going to be there no more. This shit's crazy. All right, you know what? Never mind. Forget it. Forget it.
You know what I'm
'Cause they're
saying? So
showing. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so what I'm trying to do is lay to rest all the bullshit and why I'm laying it to rest. Okay,
Hmm.
I know things that um a lot of people think I don't know, or Dartman X don't know, but we know things. Okay, we've been there, we've done that. Okay, so if you're gonna come in any angle, make sure you come direct. So when you come direct, make sure you can manage the heat because we come in for your head.
Hmm.
Okay, we're not playing games. Don't think this is a joke or a game. We ain't playing no games. So make sure you know what you're saying before you say it. Because when you think we don't know, we do know.
And you know what kills me? That they're trying to play this game in the midst of everything that's going on now, right? Everything
Yeah,
that's going on now. They playing
yeah,
this dumbass game, and it's so much more serious shit that's happening right now, especially with the environment, and they still choose to stay on this low frequency ass level,
yeah.
right?
Because they took the deal, man. They
Yeah,
signed they
agents.
signed contracts, man.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? They signed contracts to stay right in that census, that enumeration. You know, if you're enumerated by right, you just relinquish your not tax status. You know, the minute you sign that census, you relinquish your autonomy.
that's
You
true.
what you just did is gave up. You just volunteered to be colonized without a gun to your head. You know what I'm saying? You volunteered to be colonized, man. And then you're gonna come around and say, oh, we can't just be Indians not taxed because the U.S is that's not the U.S policy. We don't care about the U.S policy. It doesn't apply to us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We care nothing about that. We care nothing that what a colonizer say. You don't get it. We care not. If we don't care what the Governor General of Jamaica is doing, what make you think we care about the U.S? Right? He's a Mason. The Governor General is a grand. He's a grand. What you call him? Grandmaster. He's a Grandmaster Mason.
Well, they call them worshipful masters,
Our our
but
our our Prince of Jerusalem or whatever the fuck, man.
well, whatever the fuck.
You know what I'm saying? But he was knighted by a colonizer that has no ties to the land, that has no title to the land. So the question I'm asking government of Jamaica, where did you get your authority from if the queen has none to begin with? Where's
None,
her title to the land? We didn't give it to her. So what power does she have
none.
over us?
The only thing she has power over is the corporation because that's her creation.
So I guess that's why they don't like us too well, and they ain't gonna like us at all. Because guess what? We've been free. We just didn't know it. Oh, we've been free. We're not subject to Morocco.
I mean, brother Freeman, it's nothing to feel.
You know what I'm
You did
saying?
what you did, and the brothers them in the military at the time did what they did because they thought that they were fighting for justice. That's understood and that's commendable. You know,
No, you were programmed to think
yeah.
you were a part of the country when the Dred Scott case tells you that people of African descent cannot be citizens. What is Indians not tax? Read that. And you do the cross referencing and you tell me what you pick up out of that.
Yeah.
Because Indians not tax clearly says they were not United States citizens, they were not subject to federal or state legislation. It clearly says that. So if the Dred Scott case breaks it down that people of African descent cannot be citizens, what does that tell you?
Mm.
Okay, who they like to call African and Negro? The same Indian, right?
Yep.
Who they excluded off the reservations who didn't want to sign up? The same Negroes, right? They call us
Yep.
Negroes because we don't want to be on the reservations.
And there's the ones who are the more darker view complexions.
Yeah, a Negro is a
Yep.
Spanish word. Remember, this Spain was the first who came over this side to colonize. So of course,
Yep.
they're gonna pick up Negro because Negro in Spanish means black.
And remember also they even had a land masses over here that they called Ethiopia, right?
Exactly, Ethiopian
So
dark
when they,
skin.
so people just have to pay attention to history and learn how to dissect the clues when they're right there in front of you to what they're really saying, right? It's double speech, people. You have to understand double speech,
So
right?
when Martin Luther said he afraid he integrated my people into a burning house, he was right. You know why? Because he's saying, oh wait, but Indians not tax mean we cannot be United States citizens. We're not supposed to be.
Nope.
And then they go, and then if you're going to use the Snyder Act, what about the Indian Revocation Act? That clearly whatever rights they so-called gave to Indians, they took it back. Y'all didn't know that one, did you? So I'm not sure if the right word is revocation, but they did some revocation of some Indian. I know that's a fact.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm
know what
saying?
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. Let me just pull it up real quick
All
and
right.
make because I don't want to mislead anybody.
Okay.
I want to get the right words, the right terms, because this is
Go ahead.
dear. This is no, that's not. I'm not talking a relocation, and it's so funny because the Indian Relocation Act happened in 1956. Oh, how how coincidental! Wow.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is I ain't gonna lie, it's as comical as finding out that all the bills for the coronavirus was written last year and they just passed them shits this year. Sister Cherokee Tulu, honor, sis, honor.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
big up sister Turkey. Well, I'm trying to find an act. It's not relocation. There's a other act that they call it, like they said, they reject. It's like an Indian rev, revocate. It's not removal either, because those are different acts.
All right, so what you do then, if you don't find it now, and you do find it later on, we could just drop a show or and just put it back out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1924 was a motherfucker because that's when they did the whole Snyder Act, and that's when they try to incorporate the Indians with the United States. You know what I'm saying? And Snyder Act is null and void, also, right? Because it was under certain conditions. So if you're gonna try to say, oh, the Snyder Act turns Indians in all Indians into citizens, that's not true. Only if you consent to it. You can't just pass an act and say that's like the Queen coming to Jamaica and say, okay, she's a head of state. She's head of whose state? Not my state.
Yeah, and that's also goes out to Crumb Snatcher, right? Crumb Bum when he saw about but
Rude
all
boy.
Jamaicans were born underneath the rule of the Queen and from 19 so and so, not unless we consented to it.
Yeah,
Okay,
doodle snatcher. Yeah, you could come at me anytime you're ready. Call me out. I'll be coming for you. Trust me. I'll be coming. Don't think if you. Yeah, I'm calling you out, man. You should have never done that. You don't want to
like
do that. You know
when
nothing.
but it's good that some of these folks do what they do because it shows the bigoted ways, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, before all of this, it was like, oh, dark man, come over here, dark man, come over here, oh, dark man. And then when I don't match with the ideology that they were pushing, when they saw me even come out with my first video against the Moors, it was like, ugh, he stabbed me in the heart. There goes a dagger. Ugh. Then when I came out again with another video, it was like, ugh, there goes another dagger. Oh shit, 3 daggers in the chest. Right? Then when I
Yeah.
started talking about the history of the islands, it was like, oh, and Jamaica, and then they all started making videos on Jamaica. They wasn't focused on anywhere else because they was looking for a payback. They was looking for that pot shot to try to get back, but there
he
was
going
no get back. I was like, they're just showing how racist they are
he
because the
going
racists don't have to be a pale face person.
Yeah, he gonna talk about some tribe in Ghana got the same color flag as us, like they use some of the colors. Fool, you know nothing.
He knows
Fool,
nothing.
a lot of island people went to West Africa. You didn't know that? A lot of North American Indians went to West Africa. You didn't know that, fool?
Sold their slaves.
You know what I'm saying? And some of them went willingly too.
Yep.
Like not too long ago, 5,000 people from North America went to Ghana.
Yes, that's true.
They went voluntarily, so of course they're gonna bring their culture. So if you see
Yep.
the colors over there, yeah, that you're gonna, because that's from here.
Exactly.
The Ghana flag, the colors on the Ghana flag, that's from here.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
there.
why I
That's not
laughed when
there.
he said that. When he said that, I just laughed. I said, when you're trying to reach, because they're reaching. When you're trying to reach for something, and there's nothing to reach for, you're just going to try to make some shit up, and that's exactly what he was doing, right?
And I could just let Copper Hot Step take his head off, because that ain't nothing for that's bird food for Copper Hot Step. That ain't nothing for Copper. That's why I just laugh, because he hit them where it hurts. Like,
Yep.
Copper is no joke. He hit them where it hurts, like right there in the groin, right there. and they can't come out of that pain.
That's why I said, like, even the platforms that's associated with these dudes,
you know
like, I don't, even the platforms that's associated with them dudes, I don't want nothing to do with them. I want nothing to do with them. You associate yourself with a bigot, you know what I mean? It's showing who you are.
Simple research could show you that's insane. You got the Creole, they call them Creole over there. Whenever people go over to Ghana or Sierra Leone, they call them Creole. They have different names for them, right? They're separate. They're not in the mix. You got to know what's going on. They try to ship us up from here to get us up off the land, like how they did Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? So they could breed the whole Caribbean out. Why do you think the Caribbean is not dominated by Caucasians or so-called white people? Look at it. Why you think if you go there right now, you're gonna see most the West Indians, how they look, the majority of us. You think we look like the Native Americans down there?
And they're trying now today to depopulate the island. That's why now you see the prime minister talking about you need permission before you can come back to the island and tell us where you're gonna be. And because they're using the COVID now to push through their gentrification. This is what the COVID is being used as an excuse for. This is COVID-19. COVID-19 is the renewal, the resurgence of a bigotry party to influence and bring forth the eugenics in many different features, in many different ways.
So when you have
a foreign government, a foreign entity like the Jamaica Incorporated, telling the original people of the land, you can't come back until you give up your DNA. What? I have to give you my DNA before I could come back there. And the reason why they're getting away with it because, again, some of the folks on the islands never contested about being citizens of the Jamaica Corporation. They didn't contest it because they didn't know. So if you didn't know, you can't contest it.
My grandmother was born way before 1962. 1962 is where the so-called independence. So what were they called before 1962? Ask yourself that.
My grandmother was home birth. So, you know, like.
As a matter of fact, my grandmother, my grandmother on my father's side, she had a British passport before 1962. So you do the math. She didn't have a Jamaican passport. She had a British passport.
Because we didn't need those things to travel to come to the States. We was traveling freely from the islands to the mainland.
Oh shit, they're breaking you up, Dart, man.
I said we didn't need those things to travel to the States, to what they now call the States. We was traveling freely from the islands to the mainland. We didn't need a passport.
Here comes Chop Shop.
Oh, he's still chopping up?
They're chopping up the feed now.
Yeah, that's the hacker because he's in here with us, right? Hey, let me hear it. Let me see if it's chopped up.
You hear me? Let me try to mute and see what.
Yeah. I hear you.
Damn.
I hear you. Still chopping up? Yeah, I guess he chipped out. But yeah, we was traveling freely. Folks from the mainland and folks from the islands was traveling freely all throughout the Americas, right? And this is what a lot of people don't understand or get. But when you see someone is trying to push forth information without any good intentions, but to do harm, they're only doing harm to themselves. Because anyone of reasonable, sound mind can pick apart what it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And make quick food of you.
Yeah, they kicked me off. They kicked me off the feed, bro.
Yeah, I see it. That's crazy.
You hear me?
And yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Man.
You can hear me? Arawak.
They kicked me off the feed.
Tell me you hear me. You hear me? Because I can hear you, bro.
Oh, man. You're chopping up, bro.
Hold on.
You can hear me better?
Doodle Snatcher, is that you?
Tell me if you can hear me better. You can hear me now?
I barely heard you, man.
Wow. They can hear you, bro. They can hear you. You're clear. You're not breaking up on this, and it got to be your computer. It might be your phone, bro.
No, I think they're messing up in here. Somebody hacking here. But I must keep speaking, man. Y'all got to do your research. But they chopping up in the studio because I can't hear Dartman clearly. You guys could hear me, but I can't hear Dartman. So, yeah. What I was about to say again? Yeah, I'm just saying some of these people are paid to bring slander. You know what I'm saying? They're literally paid trolls. You know what I'm saying? To bring the slander and the bullshit. And we as island people have to be very careful because we are like the last one standing that's really not really colonized to the point where we are really wiped out and you can't really identify who's who. We are still here. So we are vulnerable to for attack. You know what I'm saying? We are like this last stronghold because they did the whole blancamiento in Brazil, they did the blancamiento in Argentina, they did the blancamiento in Peru. Then now they do the eugenics program in North America. Well, that didn't work too well because, you know, the North American Indians are still here. And the Caribbean people is standing strong. They're still here. We're still functioning. We're still around. You know what I'm saying? And we are also the people who flourish the Indians on the North American continent. Like if the numbers get low, we're here to flourish those people, the Indians. We can
Now,
procreate.
now,
You know what I'm saying?
now that's what the eugenics program realized. That anytime it looked like the numbers is about to run low, and the people from the mainland and islands meet up, the numbers explode back again. This is why they're pushing they're trying to push that whole vaccine bullshit throughout the entire West Indies, Caribbean islands, and throughout the entire North Americas. This is why they made it. They put up these imaginary borders to make it difficult for you to go up into South America because we can easily redo all this stuff by procreating back and bringing it back into the fold. Okay? Easy.
Yep.
That's how strong our genes are, our genetics is. Easily.
Yep. And that's why they're attacking us now. That we are on an attack, like real attack. You see what's happening with Jamaica? They're trying to not have us come back there. And then now they increase the crime rate there. The shootings, it's on an intense. It's intense right now. You know what I'm saying? They're shooting down.
It's like Chicago. It's like Chicago. Thousands of people a year die from murders, but they can't catch the killers. That's because the same people that's in the uniforms are the killers.
Yeah.
They can't catch them because their job is to look. You got to understand the role of a policy officer. Their job is to pull in revenue for the corporation by any means necessary. So if the corporation says, well, because crimes are this high in this particular neighborhood, then we have to continue to keep these policy officers here to bring in a certain amount of revenue. Now, if the policy officer, if there's no need for the policy officer because the crime rate is low, what's going to happen? The policy officer is going to do things to keep the crime rate up. And the only thing they can do is commit a shitload of murders because they have the equipment, they have the capability of pulling off these murders and getting away with them because they're investigating each other. They're investigating themselves. They've confiscated how many different cars from folks off the streets to run and do drive-bys.
Yep. Big up Locono.
Honor Locono.
Big up Locono. Yeah, and Locono, subscribe to Locono Empire too, because you don't know Locono have the fire for them too. The sword. You know what I'm saying? When they must swing him no care, hit the roll. So that's just one of the things I'm telling you. People, like, you gotta sit down and do your own research. Stop listening to people grouping up and talking shit. Because they know nothing. I just laugh. They know nothing. Exactly. A lot of times they say things and I'm like, but I'm doing it. So what are you talking about?
Exactly.
They say, oh, you can't do that, but I'm doing it. So what are you talking about? I've been doing it. So what's your excuse? Okay. What else you got to say? Yep. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think. You gotta understand what's really happening. You gotta understand what politics is. This is why we stay away from that politics stuff. Because it's about profit. Politics. When you say politics, it's for profit. We are not for profit. We are for the land, for the culture.
Exactly.
We are not for hire, because those are legal terms. Not for profit, not for hire.
Yep.
Okay. So when you have these paid shows coming around like your doodle snatcher and all these bullshit people talking about doing a census, be very careful. They don't know nothing. They know nothing. They're talking about
They
Aki.
don't know nothing.
The only Ghana, Aki come from Ghana. Where the fuck you get that?
They don't know nothing about the laws. They don't know shit, and that's why for years they weren't talking about none of this stuff. They were not talking about none of this stuff for years until we started coming out and started pushing this stuff. All right, so they weren't talking about this stuff because they don't know about this stuff. And the ones that even do know about this stuff because they are part of lodges, they couldn't come out and tell you shit.
Yep. And then he had the audacity to talk about Aki. Fool. You have to know how to prepare Aki. Africans don't know how to prepare Aki. Are you crazy? You think you can just eat Aki? Do you know the secrets of preparing Aki? Huh? Doodle snatcher? Doodle boy? Huh? Then you're gonna go slander. I want you to take that bullshit video down from off the internet because you're slandering. You know nothing. Stop slandering. All these people talking shit. They don't know nothing. What the fuck you know about the islands? You ever been there? You ever left the so-called United States corporation and go anywhere else? So what the fuck you talking about? You never been there, never experienced it. What you have to say, you're talking about it. You know what Aki is? You think you could just open the Aki and eat it? Huh?
You know what the thing is? The thing is, it's called what's the word? You know when people have not traveled or traveled to the places, because these were the folks that was focusing on traveling over to Africa. So they didn't pay attention to their own backyard. They didn't pay attention to the places in their own backyard. They didn't pay attention to none of these areas, to none of the islands, because they were very well out for traveling into just Africa and staying into North America. So they have not experienced the different cultures of the Americans. So, and because these folks are a part of, again, a specific organization, because that's what it is, they will always push negativity to try to trick the people in thinking that, well, no, they're the outsiders here. We're one of you. But the very same charter that you're a part of, and even this document right here, I came off of it. Even this this is the link to the document, but y'all get the gist. The documents that we shows and tells you that your job is to trick me out of my nationality. That's your job. It's to get me to give up my inheritance to this hemisphere, to this land. And then when I give it up, you're going to turn it over to Morocco, and Morocco is going to turn it over to the French and the Spaniards.
Yeah. Darman, I found it. It's called Indian Termination Policy. You go do the research on that. So if they had Indian termination policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
With so-called the Snyder Act, and they terminating what they try to say or what they try to do, then the Snyder Act is null and void.
That is true. Wait, is it they got the Indian termination policy of 1953 and of 2020?
Okay, they have one for 2022. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember you shared something with me, like a sister said they put Indians in the same category with African Americans, like minority.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, you shared it with me. It's like a sister shared it with you, and I was like, wow, see? They're telling you that the African American is an Indian right there. And then what is a minority? A minority means you can't take care of yourself. That doesn't mean you're the ones who's less here. That means you're not of the age of majority. So the only way to redeem yourself is to claim age of majority.
Here it goes. 1953. Congress seeks to abolish tribes. Relocate American Indians. Congress passes a resolution beginning a federal policy of termination. through which American Indian tribes will be disbanded and their land sold. A companion policy of relocation moves Indians off reservations and into urban areas. That's the Negro. That's what they did to the Negro. They pushed us into urban areas. And this is what I was telling folks, when you went even in a certain parts of the South, they were forcing folks out of their homes, taking them from their houses and bringing them down into New York City, up into the projects and stuff. They were doing that.
Yep. And I'm still on the topic of the islands right here, right? Check this out. Bami is made of cassava. What did Columbus say about the Arawak? The very word Arawak means cassava. That's what he said, right? We still eat bami to this day, right? We eat bami and sawfish and aki. Which African eat bami, which is cassava? And we sell bami in the stores. Pressed bami. We prepare it like a bread. Which other country does? I mean, not country. Which other nation does that? Have bami for sale?
That's so true, bro.
That's pure cassava. Only Arawaks know how to prepare cassava. So what the fuck are you talking about? So I suggest you remove those.
You know the thing
videos.
is, let him keep his video.
Slander, man, bullshit.
Yeah, we have the information to counteract it. We don't tell folks to remove their stuff. That's
bullshit,
his stuff is there, but we have our information. We have our content that's here. That when folks come over here or to any one of our platforms, all they have to do is just look at the information and see that it totally disproves what he's saying. If folks want to still believe what he's saying, right, then let that be on them. Those are the ones that still, when it all is said and done, is going to still be running back for help. You see what I'm saying? And they can't go to him for help because he don't know. He knows buckets about.
Don't know shit.
Don't know nothing. That's
and he's a Moor.
Them talk.
He's a Moor too. So you don't expect nothing better. So, I mean, if you want to know about the islands, you come to island people. You don't talk to no one else but the island people. Only we could tell you what's up, what's really good. All right.
And most time we're secretive still with information. So what you think you know, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know anything really. You don't know. Like, man, I mean, the way we live, a lot of these so-called tribal Indians that's on the mainland, the way we live, they wouldn't last a day. They wouldn't last a day the way we really live. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't last a day, to be honest. Okay? I'm still pulling up old coat of arms because I showed Dartman an old coat of arms on a rum bottle. That clearly shows that they changed the images over the years. Okay? Dartman even have one on his channel. That clearly shows that. So what are you talking about, man? They do it to all of us. It's called paper genocide. It's called image genocide. Okay? All of us got it. And even to this day, on the passports that the Jamaica Corporation gives to us to travel, one of the only few nations that still have the coat of arms with the Indians on it.
Hold on, bro. So here it goes right here. 1953. Congress seeks to abolish tribes, relocate American Indians. Congress passes a resolution beginning a federal policy of termination, through which American Indian tribes will be disbanded and their land sold. A companion policy of relocation moves Indians off reservations into urban areas. So they forced them out of their homes, out of the reservation areas, into the urban areas, and sold those lands to foreigners.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And that's where your Homestead Act comes in. The homesteading.
Yeah.
They use the homesteading to take the land for farming. So the lands that you used to farm on, they implement homesteading where the immigrants from who comes through Ellis Island, right? They ceded those lands for homesteading to those people and say, okay, all you gotta do is farm the land, take care of the land, and then after a while you could build your house on it or whatever, and then you get patent to the land. Okay? Yeah. And a land patent doesn't mean you own the land. Okay? Just FYI, for your information, land patent doesn't mean shit. Because who gave you that land patent? Where did it come from? Was it from the original inhabitants of the land? If not, then your land patent means nothing. Means
That's
a
true.
goddamn nothing thing, nothing, nada, nothing. Okay, so yeah, that's just my input, man. I am gonna go too hard on these waste man. You know what I'm saying? Or waste people, waste boy them. Them are waste boy, man.
I, so the title of the oh god damn it, the whole urban renewal on relocation of the Indians from off the reservation of the American Indians. This is here. It says, "Come to Denver, the change of your lifetime. Great jobs, happy homes, training, beautiful Colorado." All right, so all those lands, Utah, all these places, though they were American Indian lands that the colonizers took and built into cities, towns, these things, and then populated it. And this is why they created also again the KKK to put fear into you so that you don't go back to those areas to want to live. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
there wasn't lynching you because you're so-called black. No, there wasn't lynching you because of that. They're lynching you because they want to take your land from you.
exactly. But all right, child, we're about to get up out of here.
All right,
I
peace
say I
out, man.
thank everyone for joining us, for being here, for staying tuned to the information. Thank you all to American Arawaks. Thank you for coming through as usual. To brother Copper Hot Step, Lacona Empire, honor to you brothers. To Sister Cherokee, to Lou, the entire ICCC. To brother Curry Mayo, Ahu, honor to you, brother, as well. Keep your head up. Don't let nobody try to tear you down or come at you, your little ones. All right. Doesn't matter if you're mixed or not. It's just a principle of the whole situation. Fuck them.
Yep. We're
All
not
right.
colorists. All right.
Plain and simple.
It's all
So,
about bloodline and heritage. That's what we are about. That's it.
yeah, exactly. That being said, I say much love to you all. Aberration Gem Finder, Mr. Nino 3, King Quab, 15, Bernard Powell, Kev Cowboy, Lance Ward, Brother Copper Oddstep, especially the Vars, Alex, Anton Warmington. I did not forget the email that you sent me, bro. I'm going to ask them as soon as I get off this live. All right.
Yeah. And the West Indian Tribal Society will be in the links in the description. The GoFundMe.
Brainstorm, honor, Mikhail Murray, honor to you. You know, and everyone. Yes. Don't forget to check out the links in the link is already in the description box of the West Indian Tribal Society. GoFundMe is there. The links to the coronavirus file is there. The entire file from 1962 to present time. We have the links to the Coronavirus Act. That's also there. That's the law that they had also passed that you can sue or press charges on your governors and your mayors for injury. Fill out tort claims with the SF-95 form. I just have a lot of links that goes back to a lot of information. It's there in the description box. I'm going to post it all. It was in the top of the chat also as well. I'm going to pin it in the top of the chat, and just check out the information when you guys can. Also, the link to the Teespring is there. Get something from the Teespring if you can also as well. And yeah, subscribe to all the platforms also as well. Lacona Empire, Copper Hot Stuff. Subscribe to Brother Kurmio. Subscribe to Brother American Arawaks. I have my backup channel. Subscribe to also the Discord. The Discord is there for people who share information. Okay, so subscribe to the Discord. There's a lot of information in the Discord also as well.
Yep. Thanks for viewing, people. Keep your head up. Don't let nobody deter you from your identity. Fuck them. Do you.
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Autonomy all the way. All right.
All right, brother. Honor everyone.